I'm here to give you my hot take on the Enneagram. So, Marianne told me earlier that no one knew what a hot take was. So, if you don't know, it's a slightly unpopular opinion. We all know that personality tests are super popular in our culture. Every day, scrolling through Facebook, we see a new one. What type of Disney princess are you? Personally, I'm a Rapunzel. What's your Harry Potter house? Hufflepuff. Yeah, anybody else? Hufflepuff? Then there are the more prestigious ones like the Myers-Briggs. I somehow got the Performer. That's a lie. Nah. Nope. So, we're inundated with these clickbait tests all the time. Even here at LifePoint, in the Next Steps class, we love a good personality assessment to help us find where we fit in or where we might like to serve. But what makes the Enneagram different than any other personality test? The Enneagram is more than just a category that we are in. The Enneagram is actually about growth. It's a tool that we can use. And watch out, don't get burnt, because here comes the hot take. You cannot find your type by test alone. Not to say that a typing test will always be wrong. Sometimes it gets it right, especially if you're emotionally healthy and already self-aware. But an unhealthy person or someone that's in stress is much more likely to mistype because tests measure behaviors, not motivations. And the Enneagram is all about your motivations. It's more than, I'm a workaholic, or I make my bed every morning. Every type can identify with a behavior at some point in their lifetime. But the why, our motivations, the reason why we do what we do, is different for each type. Okay. So I can't find my test or my type by taking a test. So how do I do it? You should start by doing a deep dive into each type's core motivation, and you also need to be able to be honest with yourself about your core motivations. Okay, we can all do that, but what are those motivations, and how do we find them? Reading about each type's core fears and desires can shed light on the motivation of each type. So let's take a look at the core fears and desires for each type. No? Okay, there we go. Type 1, the moral perfectionist. This type, the inner critic, is always constantly accusing them. So their core fears are being bad, angry, wrong, inappropriate, irresponsible, and condemned, where their core desire is to have integrity, balance, and be a good person. Okay. Type 2, the supportive advisor. They're burdened by the pain of those that they love, and they fear rejection. Being unloved or unwanted for being purely themselves is their core fear, and their core desire is to feel loved and be wanted for themselves only. Oh.
Go the other way.
Okay, my bad. Sorry, guys. I'm with it now. Okay. Number 3, the successful achiever. Most appear successful. They have constant outside pressure, and they measure themselves from their achievements. Their core fears are being worthless, a failure, incapable, unimpressive, unsuccessful, and inefficient. Their core desire is to feel valuable and worthwhile by just being themselves without having to meet a mark. Number 4, this is my type. Our core fear is being inadequate, emotionally cut off, plain, ordinary, commonplace, mundane, abandoned, defective, or flawed. And our core desire is to find ourselves and our unique significance in the world. Enneagram type 5. 5s are the investigative thinkers. Their fears are obligations and intrusions, emptiness, being invaded, having to be dependent on somebody else, and their core desire is to be capable and confident. Number 6 is the loyal guardian. They live in constant fear and uncertainty, fear of just fear itself, not having support, security, and guidance, fear of danger, uncertainty, chaos, and being blamed or getting in trouble. Their core desires are to have security, support, and guidance. Type 7 is the entertaining optimist. They radiate positivity but are always longing for more and feel like they're missing out. Their core desire is to be satisfied and content. Type 8 is the protective challenger. They like to be protected from vulnerability. Their fear is being weak, powerless, vulnerable, underestimated, humiliated, harmed, manipulated, and at the mercy of injustice. Their core desires is to protect themselves and their inner circle. Number 9, the peaceful mediator. This type struggles to express their feelings and dreams and desires. Sometimes they will go along just to get along, to be without conflict. Their core fears are being in conflict, being separated from others, uncomfortableness, feeling unimportant, overlooked, shut out, alone, or inharmonious. Their core desire is to have inner stability and peace of mind. We use our personality or our behaviors to protect ourselves from our fears and obtain our desires. Once you know your type, you can truly start using the Enneagram how it was intended to be used, as a tool for self-discovery and growth, rather than a test to just explain your behaviors. If you haven't already, I hope this brief look at each type inspires you to do a deep dive into the Enneagram, find your true type, and discover more about yourself. Because we can't know about others unless we know more about us.